Whoa, did you see that? Looks like my video is glitching. Or maybe that's just today's art project. Today I'm showing you how to paint a super cool glitch effect. I'll take you through each step, so grab your supplies and let's get started. Before we even start drawing, let's talk about the base. You can sketch the grid directly on your canvas, but I always start out my designs on a piece of parchment paper. The reason? Drawing directly on canvas can be a struggle. Pencil lines can be tough to cover, and erasing can leave behind smudges or rough up the canvas texture. So instead, I sketch my design on parchment paper first. It makes transferring so much easier. But if you would rather draw directly on the canvas, that works too. To start, I measured out 1-inch lines both horizontally and vertically using a ruler and pencil. This creates a simple grid as the foundation for the glitch effect. Make sure your lines are evenly spaced and straight. This will help everything stay consistent later on. Now, instead of keeping those vertical lines straight, we're going to make them look all wavy and distorted. I used the corners of each vertical section as reference points and drew squiggly lines. The key here is consistency. Each squiggly line should follow the same pattern to keep the design looking uniform. Take your time and make sure the curves flow smoothly from one section to the next so the effects look seamless. Once I had my squiggly lines in place, I erased all the straight vertical lines. This step really transforms the grid and sets the foundation for the glitch effect. Erasing the straight lines helps define the wavy pattern, making it the only thing that stands out. If you drew your grid on parchment paper, you're ready for the next step, transferring the design to canvas. But if you chose to draw directly on the canvas, go ahead and skip to the next step. To transfer the drawing, flip your parchment paper over and scribble over the lines you drew using a pencil. This creates a layer of graphite on the back that will transfer onto the canvas. Then, place the parchment paper right side up on your canvas and go over the lines with a pencil. A mechanical pencil works best for this since it has a small, precise tip that makes tracing easier. Once you've gone over everything, carefully lift the parchment paper and you'll see a light outline of your design on the canvas. Now you're ready for the next step. To make sure our lines stay crisp and bold, I went over the entire design with a black paint pen. I highly recommend using a paint pen for this step. It's so much easier than trying to get precise lines with a paintbrush. Just follow along the traced lines and take your time so everything stays clean and smooth. To ensure your horizontal lines stay straight during this step, go ahead and use your paint pen and ruler to go over your pencil lines. Now for the fun part, filling in the design. I started by painting every other curved section black to create a checkerboard effect. This step is really satisfying. Make sure to double check your pattern as you go so you don't accidentally paint the wrong sections. Once the black areas were dry, I went in and painted the remaining sections white. I made sure to apply 2 coats of white paint to get a really solid opaque finish. If your white paint looks streaky or uneven, let the first layer dry completely before adding a second coat. This helps everything look clean and polished, making the contrast between the black and white sections even sharper. Now for my favorite part, adding the glitch. The trick here is to use color placement to create that digital offset look. I started with a dark blue line along the left edge of every white curved checkerboard shape, except for the very edge of the canvas. This dark blue acts as the shadow of the glitch, giving it that distorted shifting effect. I made sure to keep the line consistent in width so the effect looked uniform across the whole piece. Take your time with this step. Keeping the edges smooth and the lines even will make the final effect look super crisp and intentional. If you have a hard time painting the lines a consistent width, using a paint pen for this step will definitely help with that. Once I had added that dark blue, I went on and added a lighter blue right next to it. This makes it look like there's a shadow effect happening, almost like the image is splitting or vibrating. Contrast between the two blues really helps enhance the depth of the glitch effect. I kept the lighter blue thin and close to the dark blue so it looked like a soft glow rather than a separate shape. If you accidentally make the line too thick, you can always go back in with a little white paint to clean up the edges and refine the effect. On the right side of each white curved checkerboard shape, I painted red. This creates contrast and makes the effect even stronger. Since this effect works by mimicking digital color separation, placement is key. You want the red to sit right on the edge of the shape for the best result. The red really makes the colors pop and gives that classic RGB glitch effect. I made sure to keep the line width consistent, just like with the blue, so everything looked intentional and balanced. And finally, I painted yellow next to the red. The mix of blue, red, and yellow is what really sells that RGB glitch effect, just like how colors shift on a distorted screen. The yellow adds that final punch of brightness, making the whole design look dynamic and electrified. Just like before, I kept the line thin and right up against the red to maintain that crisp digital look. At this stage, stepping back and looking at the whole piece can help you spot any areas that need a little touch up to keep everything clean and balanced. And there you have it, a super cool glitch effect painting. If you tried this out, I'd love to see your version. Let me know in the comments or tag me on social media. For more fun do-it-yourself tutorials like this one, click this playlist here. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and like this video to support this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy painting!